Omid Scobie was bitter when Harry kicked into a dangerous place. Disaster for the two poor people used by Meghan. Hello, and a very warm welcome back to Kate Middleton and the Queen News YouTube channel. A royal source has just spoken out, saying that Harry is kicking Omid Scooby-Doo where it hurts. When Finding Freedom was released, both Harry and his wife denied collaborating with Omid Scobie in the writing of it. Meghan Markle even said in court that she had nothing to do with the book. Then later, she owned up to the judge and admitted she had collaborated with Mr. Scobie. But she didn't lie, originally to the court. She said, "It wasn't a lie, I just forgot to mention it when under oath." And then Harry tried to claim that it was a true story. Now obviously, as everyone had already figured out, Meghan signed off on the whole thing before it ever went to the printers. And today, it looks like Harry has quite a bit to say about Finding Freedom, so he's trying to set the record straight about Meghan undergoing some type of kidnapping training. In the book, Scooby-Doo talks about the day when special forces headed to their home, grabbed Meghan up, put her through several intense days of drills. They pushed her into back seats of cars, even car trunks, and then they would speed away to safe houses. According to Scooby-Doo's account, Meghan was even taught to develop a relationship with the enemy and instructed on how to drive a car while in pursuit. Now I know what you're thinking. Would this woman ever really need to learn how to develop a relationship with any man whatsoever? The whole experience, according to Scooby-Doo, was extremely intense and scary for Meghan. But now Harry's speaking out, saying this is utter nonsense. Meghan was not given even 1 minute of training. And then he adds, on the contrary, the palace gave her no security at all because I was sixth in line. So who was it really who lied in Finding Freedom? Was it Scooby-Doo, as Harry's trying to suggest? Or was it Meghan, who admits that she cooperated in the whole writing of the book? Now, if you ask me, I think this was a complete lie that Meghan came up with in the first place, or perhaps she exaggerated some kind of security drill that was provided to her by the British royal family. I mean, such a crazy espionage-style situation for Meghan suited their narrative for Oprah. It suited their narrative about how crazy the lifestyle was within the firm and how contrasting it is to California casual life. And now, of course, their narrative is focused on denigrating the royal family because they claim they didn't provide them with appropriate security. So anybody can really raise this quote from Scooby-Doo's book in response, and now Harry apparently can say, oh, it was all just a lie that Scooby-Doo got from someone else. Or perhaps Harry is trying to blame both of them for lying about Meghan getting this kidnapping training in the first place. And if so, it looks to me like Harry is losing his last two supporters. I mean, Meghan has already been MIA lately, so if Harry loses Scooby-Doo, who knows what's going to happen? And how could we forget the two invisible children? All of this is just such a ridiculous facade. And actually, I find this new claim by Harry to be pretty humorous. I would just love for a palace spokesperson to come out and talk about it. Maybe a palace spokesperson, one of the ones that Harry hates so much, could actually state the exact dates when Meghan Markle did receive this training. I would actually be pretty surprised if she didn't, because at that point, Harry and Meghan were planning on some pretty interesting projects within the monarchy as working royals. So to me, it would make a lot of sense that she would need to undergo this type of training. Now sure, Meghan has Harry pretty well trained up to say whatever she wants him to say, but if someone could come out and prove Harry's lie to be a lie, I would feel very satisfied. This doesn't have a thing to do with respecting Charles's family either. I have so much respect for William, Catherine, Anne, Sophie, and Edward. They just keep on going and they keep on appearing amongst the public who mostly are ignoring Meghan and Harry's lies and tantrums. I'm paying attention to what Charles is doing, though, and I'm hoping the suggestion that Harry could only make contact through lawyers would at least be a step in the right direction. I'm also ignoring any news coming out with the word reconciliation attached to it. I don't believe that for a second. Now, last week's news has already been outed as a spin from Meghan Markle. I am not surprised by that in the least. Meghan and Harry and their camp used to put a lot of pressure on the monarchy to protect Meghan by refuting things that turned out to actually be true. Now, once upon a time, Meghan Markle had some friends and they would defend her in the media. In an issue of People early on, I remember Meghan claimed that she didn't have a thing to do with it, and the palace actually put out a statement to this effect. But soon enough, staffers understood they were being played, so they stopped echoing Meghan's denials, and I'm guessing with the full support and knowledge of the late Queen. And this is exactly why Meghan considers the palace to be failing to protect her. But the real problem is they've all got their own truth on their own terms, according to their own definition of the truth, and that, they think, is what makes their lies so believable. We already know whatever comes out of Meghan and Harry's mouths, we cannot take to be news. It's just entertainment. Now, maybe they're being smart about it here because you can see they bring kidnapping to the table. Again, they're trying to imply that they don't have any security from the palace. They claim they have kids, but nobody has ever seen these kids. And if they are kidnapped, there would be no trace. But they would play the blame game, we know, and they would try to hurt the monarchy. Of course, one of the biggest problems with Harry and Meghan is that the fact is they're not very smart. Now, Meghan may be very smart in some ways. We could call her sly, we could definitely call her cunning. She has her ways of being deceptive and cruel and mean and nasty, but I wouldn't call her intelligent. And see, neither one of them seem to understand the meaning of certain words, and privacy we can include among those words. Truth is another big one for them. And loyalty, yeah, they don't have any idea what that word means. And I think probably the best example of words that Meghan and Harry simply do not understand is respect. Neither one of them understands anything about respect. Judging by her bio, I don't think Meghan Markle really ever did know the meaning of respect. We've been looking back on her life and how she has treated people all throughout it. Now, it seems like Harry was taught the meaning of respect, and before he met Meghan, he did show a lot of respect to pretty much everybody he encountered. And another thing people have been discussing lately, have we been underestimating Meghan's long-term plan? See, we don't exactly know what Meghan's long-term plan is. That's impossible. And if someone mistakenly said Meghan Markle instead of the Duchess of Sussex, then I'm afraid we are right back to the first part of the answer, which is since the public has no idea what, if any, long-term plan Meghan may have, it's really next to impossible for anybody with any sense out there to have an opinion on it. And I do agree that Meghan definitely has an undiagnosed personality disorder, probably narcissistic personality disorder. Now, you've got to be a board-certified psychiatrist to officially label it, but there are so many people out there who can recognize the behavior patterns, and they can call it out for what it is. All people out there with narcissistic personality disorder are manipulative, but most people are not necessarily consciously scheming. See, narcissism operates in the here and now. They have to focus on that in order to get a desired result. Narcissists don't usually understand very well about how to plan ahead. If they did, there wouldn't be nearly so much hypocrisy, and they probably also wouldn't leave so much collateral damage behind. So in all of this, I'm kind of leaning towards the idea that Meghan doesn't have any strategy whatsoever. This is just a series of knee-jerk reaction, publicity drives, and commercial deals to try to improve her ego and also improve her bank account. And I think there is at least a fair bit of damage limitation thrown in for good measure. So what exactly is going to come next? Supposedly, they're expecting an unreserved apology from the royal family for the way they treated Meghan. And also, they think that's going to lead to reconciliation. But why in the world would Meghan even want to make peace with a woman who she claims made an ugly face at her just for asking to borrow her lip gloss or refused to hug her? All those supporters out there they got through Oprah because these supporters believe that Meghan suffered racism at the hands of the royal family are already shocked to learn the royal family is in fact not racist at all. The contradictions between the book and the interviews that were associated with the book and their story, as they've told previously, are pretty immense. Rewriting history is a very old trick in the narcissist playbook, and it works when they're gaslighting an individual, but it doesn't work so well when they're trying to tell these lies to people all over the world. I mean, they couldn't even plan a tea party for a 1-year-old and be successful in it. Well, actually, they tried to, I guess. Remember Lilibet's tea party? But anyway, they did that basically just to try to suggest that William and Catherine snubbed them, when in fact, they were just too busy to attend. And you, what do you think about the desultory duo? Let us know your views below in the comments section, and we can also discuss Meghan and Harry. Don't be afraid to like and share my video with your friends and family members who would enjoy it if you preferred our video today. And please don't be afraid to click that subscribe button below to get more videos from Kate Middleton and the Queen News team. Now thank you so much for watching, goodbye, and I'll be back to see you in the next videos.